Hello everybody, and thanks for joining us. Over the next 6 episodes, we're going to be looking into every aspect of membership with the Light Aircraft Association. From how to get involved and become a member in the first place, to owning and operating an aeroplane and how to look after it, and of course, the fun part, flying. We're here at the Light Aircraft Association's headquarters at Tour Western, and behind me are 3 very different but very typical aircraft owned and operated by members under the Permit to Fly system. You don't have to be an owner or a pilot to join the association and enjoy the benefits it offers, but typically the type of people that consider joining are those who want to learn to fly, who have recently passed their training, or are considering building an aeroplane or owning one for the first time. For those who have hired an aircraft at an hourly rate, you'll appreciate the costs involved. And that's really where the LAA comes into its own. By owning and operating the aeroplane yourself or as part of a syndicate, you can significantly reduce the hourly running costs and therefore add longevity to your flying passion. I met Mara Layton, who's agreed to bring in her beautiful EAA biplane and talk to us about her journey with the LAA so far. So Mara, how long have you been flying?
I got my licence in the summer of 2017.
Have you always been interested in it?
Yeah, so my mum's always been involved in the airlines, so we've always gone on family trips every year since I was younger. When I was about 15, my dad let me have some gliding lessons at Vista Gliding Club. We used to go down for the weekend, help out during the day, and then get a few flights in at the end.
Cool.
And then when I was 18, my dad got me some trial lessons. Just to sort of see if I still enjoyed it, and I was just hooked. It was just the best thing. Sadly, obviously, aviation is quite an expensive hobby to have, so I didn't really have the money to sort of continue it when I was that age. So I went to uni, got a degree, and then when I sort of got a job, my first job after uni, and thought I can actually afford to do this now, that's when I had my lessons and then got my licence.
When did you first get involved with the LAA?
So it would have been around the time that I got my aircraft, which was last March. So I've had it for about just over a year now. And obviously because she's on a permit, I got introduced to the LAA and its community, and it's been great.
Now, I know how daunting it was when I first thought about buying the Cub. Was that the same experience for you? It
was pretty daunting, just because it's not, normally people get cars or they save up for a mortgage, but I decided to get an airplane. It was the best decision because I think in the end you sort of convince yourself that you're going to save a lot of money, and I think if you do enough hours during the year, you definitely do end up saving because you're not paying for higher costs. But it was very daunting because you suddenly think, right, I need to get a lot more information on sort of maintenance and so on, in order to actually look after this aircraft that I've now bought.
Do you find that being a member of the LAA is much easier for you to own and operate an aircraft?
It's been massively helpful, just because they're such a nice community. They offer so many sort of coaching courses on woodwork, maintenance, how to look after your aircraft. There's forums, there's a whole community of guys and girls that are out there willing to help you. They organise fly-ins throughout the year, and it's just really great. It's just a really nice community to be part of.
During lunch, I went up to the cafe to speak with some syndicate pilots about their experiences of owning and flying an aeroplane under the permit system. Paul, thanks for talking with me. You're a syndicate owner on a permit aircraft. What are the benefits for you?
I would say probably the most obvious benefit is cost, but there is much more to it. For us, I think getting to know the aeroplane, because we're allowed to do a lot of the maintenance ourselves, and we do quite a lot of the maintenance actually, all overseen by an inspector and all signed off, particularly the important bits. But it does allow us to do stuff on our own, get to know the aeroplane, and reduce costs.
Being a part of a syndicate, does it add to the overall enjoyment of operating an aeroplane as well? Because you've got more the social side as well, haven't you? Having a group of friends that are all like-minded and enjoy the same sort of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Because you find a lot of syndicated aeroplanes live in isolated strips and things, and we happen to sit at Wellesbourne, so there's already a sort of social side to that. But having that group of like-minded people, with 7 of us in our syndicate, 4 of us happen to be ex-military, so have an attachment to the Chipmunk going back to our military days. And then we've got 3 other guys who have no military background or commercial background. So it's a lovely mix of people. Everyone brings their own talent to the party. Some people are very good at the paperwork, some are very good at the engineering aspects.
Now you're also an instructor and flying examiner as well. Does that come in useful with your syndicate?
Yeah, we're pretty self-sustaining really, so we've got 3 qualified instructors in our syndicate, so we can look after our own biennial checks. Any new syndicate member can do all their required differences training they need to do, fly the aeroplane. I'm an examiner, so anything that needs examining, I can do. So we're quite self-sufficient.
Yeah, works very well. Thanks, Paul.
Pleasure.
If you particularly enjoy the social side of membership, then the LAA's struts are definitely worth looking into. No matter where you are in the country, there'll be a strut that's local to you, which is planning year-round events and social gatherings. So Mara, do you get involved with the social side of things?
I try to, yeah. So I love going to the LAA rally that they have each year. It's a really nice way to meet other people. There's forums, there's always people to meet online who are going through a similar thing with aircraft maintenance and so on. It's really great.
One thing that I find, you mentioned maintenance, is the sort of ease that it is to push paperwork and things through, the formalities side of operating an aeroplane. Do you find that's much easier on the LAA?
I think it's brilliant. The LAA make your life so easy. It's so easy. It's quick to get paperwork through. They really, really do a good job with it. And
what's your relationship like between your engineer and inspector and yourself?
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, so I think the LAA try to assign an engineer to each member, which is really, really helpful, especially for someone like me. I don't have an engineering background, and it makes it so much easier to maintain and look after my aircraft.
And I guess ultimately that means you can spend less time on the ground and more time in the air enjoying
Exactly, it makes my life so much easier. You can focus on the flying, and they help you out with a lot of the engineering, which is perfect.
Nice. Well, you better get ready for your flight back home. Mara, really, thank you very much for talking to me.
And you, no, thank you very much.
Fly safe.
I will.
Mara is the perfect example of what flying should be all about. Taking more ownership of her aeroplane ultimately means that she's a safer, more efficient pilot. And it may sound like a paradox, but she will spend less time on the ground thinking about flying and more time actually doing it. In the next episode, we'll be looking into the maintenance of permit aircraft. Everything from a 50-hour check right through to the long-term care. Make sure that you click on the link for episode 2 in our series, and I'll see you next time.